wait-and-see approach and added it would not be a surprise if Baker's deal comes next offseason. Baker is taking it in stride, though, saying, quote, well, I'm not worried about it at all, because if we win, we're headed in the right direction. So, Acho, would the Browns be making a mistake waiting to pay Baker?
It's a huge mistake. Sal, let me simplify it, right? We went long in the A block, you know what I'm saying? So let me just give y'all my gut punches right now.
Okay.
Because you are an organization that's in Cleveland, Cleveland is not one of the more attractive cities, at least not to the young athletes. Coming from a young athlete that had to play in Cleveland, got drafted to Cleveland. Shout out to the Browns for taking a chance on your boy. Then how can you acquire a quarterback? You can acquire a quarterback one of two ways, through the draft or through free agency. Well, you can't really acquire a great quarterback through free agency because of the destination. They're not going to choose to go quarterback in Cleveland. Look at the quarterbacks you've acquired through free agency over the years. Jason Campbell didn't have much success. Tyrod Taylor didn't have much success. RG3, my dog, didn't have much success. Jeff Garcia didn't have much success. Or Trenton Dilfer did not have much success. So if you're not going to succeed as a Cleveland Brown organization, acquiring a quarterback through free agency, your other option is a draft.
Okay.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Okay, well, haven't had a ton of success in the draft, albeit Heisman winners, Tim Couch, didn't have a ton of success. Heisman winners, Johnny Manziel, didn't have a ton of success. My dog Heisman finalist, Colt McCoy, didn't have much success. Brady Quinn, not much success. Brandon Weeden, first-round pick, not much success. So free agency, your hands are tied because not a ton of quarterbacks are going to want to go play in Cleveland, even if you throw them a boatload of money. Through the draft, historically, you haven't really done well. So if I'm looking at it, if Baker Mayfield is both a really good option right now, he's a solid option, won 11 games. Maybe that's not great, but if you're a Browns fan, you should be content. What are your other alternatives? Bank on getting a better quarterback through free agency? I just laid out why that's not very smart. Bank on getting a great quarterback through the draft? Look internally, look in the mirror, Browns organization. You're not likely to do so. So you have Baker Mayfield. Because you have Baker Mayfield, you might as well commit long-term to Baker Mayfield sooner than later so you can pay him less than more. That's really the simplicity of it. I'm not jumping on this Baker's the best quarterback in the NFL bandwagon.
You can't.
It's
wobbly as hell if you jump on it.
It is. I'm logically saying, free agency is not a great option. The draft isn't proven to be a great option. You already have a good enough option. Stick with your good option and get him at the cheap.
Okay, I'm with you there. He's cheaper right now. But here's the conversation, and here's the problem. This is why the Browns should wait on paying Baker Mayfield, even though he's cheaper right now. The question is he worth the investment? Now, a lot of people are like, yeah, he's worth the investment, especially if it's cheap right now. But let me tell you the psychology of consumerism. Let me tell you the psychology of all the times you walk into a store. This is why I became a sociology and psychology major, is because classes like this, the sociology of life, just grabbed me. I was like, damn. That's how it goes. When you go into a grocery store, you may think it's randomness. Man, that thing is curated and calculated. Same thing happening with this situation with Baker Mayfield. He's not proven. He's shown flashes that he's great, but he's consistently inconsistent. Good year, bad year. Good, great year, we don't know what next. So here's the thing. When you go into that store, don't you notice everything's 99 cents, $1.99? $9.99, $99.99, $99. Why $99? Why don't you just make it $8 instead of $7.99? Because the psychology of it. Oh, we need to incentivize you. Oh, you know what? If it's a little cheaper, don't you need it? Even though you need to be asking yourself a greater question than, is it cheap? Do I need it at all? Do I need it at all? Do we need Baker Mayfield? Because we have dressed this dude up better than anybody else in the league currently. We got all pros and pro bowlers up front, behind them, two-headed horse receivers, defensive stars. And Baker, you're not the driving force. So there's two things we have to ask ourselves. One, can you be consistent? Can you back up a good, great year with another good, great year? And two, are you the reason? Are you worth the investment? If not, you get caught up in half-off sales. You ever walk in somewhere and you're like, I don't need jack. Oh, wait a minute, that's half off. It's cheap, right? Half off, but you know what you need to be asking yourself? Do I need to pay for it at all? I don't need it. So Baker Mayfield, make them need you, because right now you're just a kind of glorious want.
Do I have permission to hijack the segment?
Let's go where we gonna go.
It's honestly one of your best takes I've heard. The $7.99 thing is a phenomenal take because you're sitting here trying to deliberate is it cheap enough? But the question is, do you need it?
Do you need it?
So you make a great point. I'm sitting here like, well, get Baker while he's cheap. But the question is, do you need it? But then you have to be reminded that the market dictates your value.
Facts.
Sell Senior Bowl. I went to Senior Bowl. All-Star game Senior. I went to the Senior Bowl.
What's that, in Alabama?
In Alabama. I'm glad you asked.
Beast.
In Mobile, Alabama, it's the All-Star game for college seniors.
Jealous.
I show up at the Senior Bowl, and I'm getting checked in by different people, the execs, et cetera, et cetera. There were two wonderful women there checking me in. Great personalities. Not the most attractive to your boy, but incredible personalities. But if you've ever spent a week in Mobile, Alabama, you understand that the market of beauty is a little bit different than the market of beauty in L.A. And so, while upon first glance, upon check-in, I was like, oh, y'all are great personalities, but by the time I was leaving, they were 10s, Halle Berry in their prime. Because the market had now increased their value physically, exclusively.
Oh, I've been there.
So as I look at Baker Mayfield, when he arrived in Cleveland, you're looking at Baker like, okay, doesn't really do much for me.
Okay.
But now that you've looked around at the market, like, wait a second.
Yeah.
What's out there? What else is out there? What else can we lure in? Now you start to look at Baker after year 3 going into year 4, and you look at Baker in the same manner that I looked at those who checked me in after 7 days in Mobile, Alabama. Wait a second, Baker, you looking kind of good. So you are right. You have to ask yourself first, it's not, is Baker cheap enough? Do we need Baker? But once you realize that the market has increased his value, you absolutely need Baker.
Okay, look, I ain't mad at you because I've been in those situations before, too. We used to call them camp goggles.
Oh,
camp eyes? Okay, we call them camp goggles because you can put them on and put them off. The eyes is stuck. But here's the thing. I get it. Same thing. Get the number. Go grab a drink. Don't go get a ring. Like, hey, Baker, we're going to do all that dating. We ain't doing that much until you prove that you are the one. What do they always say in some romantic Hallmark cards or something like, you don't marry the one you can be with, you marry the one you can't be without. Anna Marie, I can't be without you. And I hate to say it because I'm so vulnerable when you say that. It is true. I can't, like...
It's not what he said during commercial break.
Yeah, never lie. And that next commercial break, I'm going to say something different too, but I'm on camera right now. I love her. No, seriously, I can't be without her. Man, my wife... Everything I do wrong, she does perfectly. And everything that I think I do well, she does even better. It's a weird dynamic, even though I'm the man. But she is killing me in things that I'm like, all right, working with the kids, envisioning how families should go, things we need to do, keeping the house in order, all that. Bam, bam, bam. And then I look at people I've used to date, and they were great too. But it just didn't add up. It was other factors that they had to lean on. They were still one leg out, one eye out in the streets, still listen to their homies a little too tough, still just wanted to be in front of the line instead of just happy wherever you're in line. And I'm looking at Baker like, you got to show me that we can't do this without you right now. Because right now you just got me in the store on a good half-off rebate, 99 cents. And until Baker takes that next step, and I think he could do it this year. People confuse what I say about Baker. I don't think he's sorry. I think he's damn good. But I've been damn good and then not damn good the next time. And that's what they don't pay. They pay either this or they pay this. They don't like to pay this because when I pay you, are you going to live up to it? Coming up, Nick Saban says, speaking of Alabama, that quarterback Bryce Young